What's good with it in the hood with it? Welcome back to the collective clips where you already know. Das, das, das. We get it in like I get this intro in. What's good with it in the hood with it? Welcome back to the collective clips. If you haven't hit that like and subscribe button yet, make sure that you hit it. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that the gun is kicking. I appreciate all your support, man. I'm very humbled. So the Cain Velasquez issue, it's a big issue. It's a big issue. This sentencing, it's got people making all kinds of conspiracy theories. Where's he going? How long is he going to do? What's going to happen? I did a video on it yesterday. It went crazy, right? And I respect the fuck out of Cain Velasquez. And I know enough to know enough that wherever he goes, everything's going to see all right, cuz on 55th, he's going to be all right. No one's going to run up on Cain Velasquez. No one's going to apply pressure. No one's going to be tripping on him. You know, I heard one content creator say because he has brown pride and he's from Northern California, he's going to have issues. That's never going to be the case. In fact, I talked to someone else and we got to conversing about it. And I said, more than likely, he's going to be a level 3, overrode to a level 2, go to a soft-ass facility, maybe one of the integrated yards, the 50-50 yards, program function, do his time, and get the fuck up out of there. He should be out by Christmas. That's what I'm thinking, right? Now, someone got at me, a foolish individual, right? I didn't want to clap back at him, didn't want to correct him, didn't want to give him the knowledge he couldn't get in college or the game. But this is how crazy people are. This guy said, hey, you got the shit fucked up, man. He's got an issue coming. Cain's got an issue coming from the homies, meaning the Norteños, because he was born in Salas, Salinas, the hub, right? The hub for the Northerners. Well, a lot of people like to argue Salas and San Jose, but I'm not here to fucking pick and choose sides. Salinas is very well respected. It's very northern top heavy. It is a Norteño city, and there's a lot of history there, okay? The culture of the Norteño movement is deep rooted in the city of Salinas, in Salas, period. And yes, Cain Velasquez was born in Salinas, but he was raised in Arizona, Yuma, Arizona. Okay, he moved back to San Jose, got into the MMA scene. Of course, there's a great gym out there in San Jose. He's part of a certain team out there in San Jose. Khabib Nurmagomedov was part of that team. DC was part of that team. There's a lot of UFC fighters that actually functioned within that team and trained with that same trainer that Cain Velasquez trained with. That doesn't mean Cain Velasquez was claiming the city of San Jose. He lived in the city of San Jose, but he wasn't claiming it. He was never claiming the city of Salinas. He was born in the city of Salinas, but that doesn't mean automatically he's a Norteño. Now, this guy that tried to argue with me said, it's not where you're at, it's where you're from. Because he was born in the city of Salinas, that automatically makes him a Norteño. And I said, Well, what about the Southsiders from Salinas that were born in Salinas? What does that make them? Okay, what about my father that was born in Los Angeles, that lived in Modesto and functioned with the homies in Motown in Deep Southside? What was that, right? This guy's trying to tell me I was foolish, didn't know what the hell I was talking about, and Cain Velasquez will have an issue coming because he is a Norteño, he's a Northerner, and that's all, and that's what it is. Well, let me explain to you something. It doesn't matter where you're born, okay? Hey, I got homeboys from my neighborhood right now. There's 2 brothers from my neighborhood. I'm not even going to mention their names. I don't want to put them on blast because they're still functioning. But there's 2 brothers right now from my neighborhood where I grew up, straight up Norteños. They're all up in music videos, all up in the cheese, man, right? Doing their thing. Both of them came from Los Angeles when they were like 10 years old, 10, 11 years old. I remember them pulling up, homies sweating. I'm like, where you from, right? They were youngsters. We were all kids. They were from the LA area. Immediately, they got integrated into the neighborhood. They became Norteños. They're still fucking functioning as Northerners. In and out of prison, in and out of jail, all that. They were at juvenile halls claiming North, all that. It didn't matter that they came from Los Angeles. They never were affiliated or associated with the gang. They just happened to be born in the city of LA. So Cain Velasquez being born in Salinas doesn't automatically make him a Northerner or a Norteño or anything like that. See, he was never involved in gangs. He never lived that life. He wasn't a criminal. He didn't live that lifestyle. Yes, I'm sure he might have been related to some individuals that claim Norte. Maybe, maybe not. But as a young child, he moved to Arizona and figured out that gangs and the criminal lifestyle wasn't it for him. He was smarter than most of us, way smarter than me, because he found something that he was passionate about and got involved and became one of the greatest heavyweight champions in UFC history. And so now that he's done a crime doesn't make him a criminal. It makes him a convicted. He's a convicted person. He's convicted of a felony, which he pleaded no contest to and took the 5-year deal. Hey, I would have done the same thing. When you're given a slap on the wrist, you put your wrist out and get it slapped, period. There's a lot of haters. It boggles my mind. It's tripping me out. How many people are hating on him? He should have got more time, or he should have this, or he should have that, or they're hating on him. He's in protective custody. He's going to go to a SNY yard. He's going to go here. He's going to go there. How the fuck does it hurt you? How does it matter to you, or does it matter to you where he goes? To me, it doesn't. You know, I've always been hashtag free Cain. The crime that he committed was a crime of passion, and it's a crime that any real parent, right off the top of the head, might not commit, but it goes through your mind. You think about it. Okay, there was actually a case. I don't know if you guys seen the video, man. It's on YouTube. I forget. I think the name was Duche or something like that. He was a guy that touched on some dude's kid, right? And the father waited, I believe it was in an airport or somewhere, a bus stop, wherever it was. He waited by a bank of payphones. And when the guy walked past with the guards, he turned around and shot him. That guy never got time. That guy actually got a slap on the wrist too and got out. So Cain Velasquez receiving 5 years it's a head scratcher, you know, compared to other cases. Now, I know people like to bring race into it. They like to bring Santa Clara County, the conviction rate into it. And all that stuff probably does factor into the Cain Velasquez verdict. Absolutely. At the end of the day, man, he's not worried about what people are thinking about him. He's got his chin up. He's ready to go function and program on a prison yard. Now, does that mean the Norteños or the Southsiders or any Mexican won't press him? I don't think so. But of course, everybody in prison is a convicted prisoner, and anyone can get it. There's no rules, regulations, and definitely no politics that are going to protect you. You have to be a man, you know, but best believe he's going to get preferential treatment. Cain Velasquez is going to get preferential treatment from the COs and from a lot of the convicts. No one's going to want to be fucking with him. They're not going to trip on him because he's in SNY, because guess what? The dudes who he's going to have interaction with are on the same fucking yard. Now, if he goes to an integrated 50-50 yard, that's going to be testy and tricky. And I'll explain to you why. Because on these integrated yards, there's so-called still active gang members that swear to God they're still functioning, they're still in good standings, even though I think those of us that live that lifestyle know better. Once you function on a yard around what you call trash, that's what you are considered. Now, do I consider Cain Velasquez a northerner because he was born in Salinas? And does he have to answer to the Norteño movement? Absolutely not. This guy didn't get jumped in a gang. He wasn't a gang member. It's crazy that some people try to correct me and try to tell me, you know, about things that I was once a part of at a different level than they could ever experience. You know, I'm not trying to toot my own horn or glorify the movement I was once part of, but I didn't take things lightly. Okay, when I involved myself to a certain level, I was heavily involved at that level. So I wanted to know the history of what I was doing, when I was doing it, and why I was doing it. Okay, so I studied my history when it came to the Norteño movement. I understood the foundation, the struggle, what we were trying to achieve, trying to get social status of equality. I went to yards and shed blood and had my blood shed, you know, in defiance of the opposition. I rode with my homeboys, right or wrong, thick or thin, you know what I'm saying? One man on the yard or two men on the yard. It didn't matter because I was wholeheartedly involved. Okay, I was born in Northern California. That didn't make me a Norteño. I was enlightened by my tío. That did not make me a Norteño. It was my own doings, what I chose. I had a choice. You know, it's just like a guy that's born in Southern California and that's not a part of a gang. If he gets incarcerated, he's considered a resident. He's not jumped into a gang. He's not part of a barrio, but he still will function within the Southern movement as a resident. Why? Because he's from down south and nobody walks the yard alone. Nobody's allowed to just walk the yard and experience the creature comforts of prison, whatever that is, right? Without some type of repercussions or being held accountable for their actions. You're going to stick with your race. You're going to stick with your ethnicity. If you're black, you're going to be with the blacks. If you're white, you're going to be with the Woods, brother. And if you're Mexican, North or South or Paisa, that's who the fuck you're going to function with. Now, of course, Cain Velasquez is in a totally whole different situation. No, just because he was born in Salinas doesn't automatically make him a Norteño. And I'm sure the Norteños ain't even tripping off Cain. Okay, they're good with or without him. Period. Now, if Cain Velasquez had affiliation with gang members, was doing business with them, everybody would already know that. You can't hide that shit, especially in a small place like Northern California. Everybody knows who is who and what is what. And that would have been already pushed out there like, hey, that's a homie. He's undercover, but he's a homie. Someone would have said something because motherfuckers can't keep their mouth shut. I'm here to tell you, just because you're born in a certain area doesn't mean you have to claim a certain gang. Like I said, there's a lot of Southsiders up north. Okay, there's a lot of upstaters. So when the guy tried to argue, nah, he's from Salas, bro. He's a homie from Salas. He ain't none of that. He's a fucking Mexican guy that was born in Salinas and moved to Arizona. If anything, he's more Arizona than anything. He's not San Jose. Just because he lived in San Jose and worked out of San Jose and trained out of San Jose and represented the city of San Jose and carried it on his back into the UFC, motherfuckers should be respectful of that, right? Doesn't mean he was a gang member or he had anything to do with the Northern cause. It doesn't automatically make you a Northern. Now, I understand in the past, people are like, hey, I was born here. That makes me that. Okay. Yes, I am from Northern California because I was born in Northern California. I'm from there. But there's a difference from being from a place and claiming a place. Okay. Gangs don't run the world. They run their world. When you're part of their world and that world, yes, you're going to answer to someone. You're going to have to function and program accordingly. But when you're not in that world, you don't even notice it. There's a lot of people, excuse me, I'm sick, and I'm still grinding, right? There's a lot of people that are born in certain areas that are tax-paying citizens that work, that never notice the bullshit going on around them because they're not paying attention. If you're looking for that street life, if you're looking for that element, you're going to find it. You're definitely going to find it. And if you want to be a part of it, well, you're going to go with everything that comes with it. Cain Velasquez is fine. Doesn't matter if he was born in Salas. You know, of course, there's going to be guys in Salinas that are very, very, and one thing about Salinas, the city, Salas, they're very prideful. They're proud of their area and where they come from in the history. North or South, Mexican period. People are proud of the city of Salinas. It's a small city, a small town, but a lot of clecha there, a lot of game, a lot of real ones, a lot of history. Not just gang related, but period. Okay, and Cain Velasquez is always forever going to be a part of that history of someone born in the city of Salinas, but that doesn't necessarily make him a Northern nor a gang member. Now, I was asked another question. Say if he did go to a general population yard, which we already know because he's housed in protective custody right now, and he should be in San Quentin by tomorrow morning, right, from what I'm hearing. But say he's housed in the SNY yard, he's going to go over there where, yes, there's going to be non-active gang members. What I mean non-active gang members, I mean people that are from dropout gangs. Are they going to try to press up on him or recruit him? Absolutely not. They're going to try to get his fucking autograph and get a hug. Straight up. Dudes ain't fucking with Cain. Cain's not going to have no issues or problems unless it's a simple problem that anyone could have, like someone steps on his shoe or someone mean mugs him or they make him feel some type of way. Of course, we don't know Cain Velasquez's philosophy when it comes to doing time. People that were around him in Santa Clara County that did time can tell you more than I can. People have a different mentality. When you go into prison, it's all about self-preservation and self-security and worried about yourself. Now, I'm sure he understands when he goes to these yards, like, what do I do? Do I hang around with these guys? Do I hang around with those guys? There's dropout gang members. And of course, he's going to recognize and realize what's going on. If he gets put on an integrated yard, now that's where it gets a little tricky. And let me explain to you why it gets a little tricky. Because you're going to have so-called guys that are active that are going to be like, hey, what's up with this dude Cain, right? And they might try to act dumb. There's a slight possibility. Now, it's not in their best interest. Once they're on that yard, they have a certain amount of time, I'm sure, to get off that yard. That's how politics go. Once they stay there for so long, there's a curfew, right? North, south, doesn't matter what you are if you're an active gang member. If you stick around and stay there, you might as well just stay there forever. Right? If Cain does go to a yard, and there's a chance that he might hit a 1 yard. You know, there's a slight possibility that he might be a level 2. They could override it to a level 1. That motherfucker be over there running in McFarland. You just never know. There's going to be a lot of he said, she said, that she said, he said. One thing I know for sure is the argument that that guy raised to me about Cain Velasquez being a Norteño and having an issue come. Well, you go ahead and get locked up and bring in that issue. An issue for what? An issue for locking it up? First and foremost, this guy's a celebrity, and I'm sure he didn't volunteer to lock it up. He didn't even volunteer to do a crime, man. It was a crime of passion that just happened. The people that are running around talking about, well, he has an issue coming, right, are guys that have never been locked up and don't know the get down. They see it on the internet. They hear fucking stories. They watch Renegade Media or fucking My Channel or whatever, and they think that they know something. Here's the thing, and here's the real life deal. Cain Velasquez is not a gang member. He's a civilian that committed a crime. He's going to do his time for it, and that's that. He'll be home by Christmas chilling with his children. That's a fact. Okay, whatever happens in prison is going to be because of what he does while he's there, not because anyone is going to pressure him or because anyone is feeling some type of way about the yard that he functioned on. There's a lot of dudes that are SNY or a lot of dudes that chose to fucking drop out or chose to back up or chose to be non-active. There's a lot of people in your neighborhood right now that are doing that, but dudes are too worried about Cain Velasquez being in a certain area or being not in a certain area. The fact is, bro, you know damn well you're not going to do nothing and ain't no one else going to do nothing. Now, if Cain Velasquez was a Norteño, if he was kicking it amongst the brethren and the homies like that, if he was kicking it with the Sureños and was a South Side or anything like that, then absolutely, yes, he would have an issue coming no matter who the fuck he is and how much hands he has from the cause, right? From the fucking, the groups that are functioning. But again, he wouldn't be on the yards with active fucking gang members anyways, so they would never get to him, nor would he get to them. See, it works both ways. Vatos are like, oh, you got an issue coming. We're going to get at you. Shit, homie, you say that to the wrong person, he's going to get at you first. I remember getting out of prison. I was no longer active. I was no longer functioning. That didn't mean shit. They still paroled me right to the city of Merced, meaning I was right back in the area, in the hood. I had to do what I had to do. And yeah, everybody knew that I was no longer in good standings, that I stepped back, that I got off on the yard. Like they knew already. I wasn't hiding from no one. That's why it's hilarious when all you guys, you're the runner, he ran, he's hiding. Motherfucker, I was on parole for 3 years right there in my neighborhood, right there on 13th Street on the west side, across the street from the post office. If I'm lying, I'm dying. It's facts. I was all up in Levas and all kinds of shit, right? But look, here's the truth. I wasn't out there looking for trouble, but trouble found me. First day, I'm walking to the parole office because I didn't have no car, no whip, no money, no bitch, no nothing, right? It was just me mobbing through the West. I get to the parole office. There's a homeboy there from NFL gang, Norteños for life, and he hits me up. Hey, homie, what happened in Susanville? I said, you already know. If you're asking me, you already know. He said, damn, bro, you're the homie. Like, man, damn, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed that you're not getting off right now. I'm fucking disappointed. I taught you better than this, bro. If you feel some type of way, don't question me. Just get off where you're mad at. That's how I felt at that time. Later on, I was like, God bless me, right? Thank God he did it because I didn't feel like fucking being Willie Lump Lump. There was other times, man, where I've told stories where I ran up and a couple of youngsters did get at me. I was a little proud of them because they handled their business. The fact is this, you know, there's a lot of dudes walking around your neighborhood, walking around your town right now that are in bad standings that no one's doing anything to. Yet you got motherfuckers running their dick sucker, bumping baking soda bread, talking about Cain Velasquez got an issue coming. He can't go nowhere. He's a homie because he was born in Salas. Get this motherfucker that was born in Clovis up out of here, right? This dude don't even know what the fuck he's talking about. That dude was never a northerner, doesn't even probably know how to spell Norteño, was never part of that. Cain Velasquez is going to go to prison, do his fucking time, get out, and continue to do what he does and make more money than you and me. All these guys that are running the necks, oh, man, he deserved more time. Let your kid get touched on, man, and see how that you feel. Don't worry about what the next man's doing and how the next man, what deal he got. Worry about yourself. You know, I was concerned when they had that vato right there for a whole year with no bail. That's when I was concerned. When he got out, I was happy for the man. So he was able to get his shit in order, get his shit all lined up, and be around his children that really needed their father. You know, instead of focusing on how much time a guy gets and what's going to happen to him in prison, you need to focus on taking care of your kids, man, and staying around and all this active shit. Oh, he's got an issue coming, bro. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, once you do that issue and then because you're fucking all crazy in your mind, and then what happens? Your kids are without a father. Your fucking old lady's fucking your best friend, and it's all bad. So anyways, man, no, Cain Velasquez is not a Norteño. No, he doesn't have an issue coming. No, they're not tripping off him. If anything, you know, a real righteous, active Norteño or Southsider will be like, hey, that vato function on the other side, I can't fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? He's still the champ, though. And that's it. Anyways, with that being said, I hope I fucking corrected old boy. I know he's going to watch and put me a thumbs down. That's all right. I always hit you with a thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I truly believe in. That's the betterment of all people. Damn, I've never seen so many haters on Cain Velasquez because he's in protective custody. So what? So what? Motherfuckers ain't going to do nothing to him.